And we would like to wish everyone a good afternoon, a good evening, whatever may be the case. And welcome to our continuing series of All Candidates Nights. And we want to thank the Peterborough Kawartha's Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring these events, and also the Kawartha Home Builders Association, who are partners in this endeavor. And of course, municipal election is coming up on the 24th of October. In Peterborough County, we have 8 separate municipalities who all elect a new council for the coming 4-year term. So that's why we're here tonight. And Otonabee South Monaghan is the township that we're looking at tonight and introducing some of the candidates to you. In this case, we only have one at this point, and that is Ken Howie, who's running in South Monaghan Ward in the township. He is the only one to take us up on this invitation tonight, and we're going to be talking to Ken very shortly. And also with us tonight is Mayor Joe Taylor and Deputy Mayor Bonnie Clark. And they have been acclaimed in the election, and we're also going to be hearing from them as well. So before we get started, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that though the meeting meeting virtually, the land that we're speaking from and discussing tonight is the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory, and in the traditional territory of the Mississauga Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nation, which includes Alderville, Beausoleil, Curve Lake, Georgina Island, Hiawatha, Rama, and Scugog Island First Nations. And we offer our gratitude to the Williams Treaty First Nations as the stewards and the caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure the health and integrity for generations to come. Okay, we're going to get underway with our meeting now. Now, with our other candidate nights, we have a long list of candidates, and we have a pre-selected order, and then we reverse the order. Tonight, it's not that difficult. We only have one. So you're making it very easy for my mathematics skills, Ken. I just want you to know. But before we indeed do that and go to Ken, I am going to go to Mayor Taylor and Deputy Mayor Bonnie Clark and just get some introductory remarks, tell us a little bit about the township, etc. So, Joe, I'll give you a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden, and thank you for agreeing to chair this event, and I believe a whole host of them that are being conducted across the county and the other townships. I think it's important also to thank the people who are participating in this, the people who are listening. It's great to see that they have an interest in municipal politics. I've always said it's a level of politics that most affects your daily lives. And I think it's important that people try to educate themselves on what the various candidates and what the various elected representatives have to say about issues that may be near and dear to their hearts. The Chamber of Commerce and the Peterborough Home Builders Society deserve special recognition for organizing this, sponsoring it. It's going to be, I believe, very educational for all the residents of the county of Peterborough if they make the effort to tune in, learn about what the issues are in the various regions, and educate themselves so they send in an informed ballot. I think that's important. Otonabee South Monaghan, of course, it's unusual. We have 5 members of council, and only one position was contested, and that's contested by 3 individuals. Ken Howie, Councillor Ken Howie, the incumbent, is one of them. So I don't know what to make of that. However, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to say that Deputy Mayor Clark and I are both acclaimed. We've got the easy path to the chair, and I look forward to the next 4 years and the next term working together and doing what we can for the benefit of our residents and our township. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe. And Deputy Mayor Bonnie Clark. Bonnie, go ahead.
Thank you, Warden Jones, and also to the Chamber and the Home Builders for putting this on. it gives us a great opportunity to thank our residents and tell them we're here. If we have our listening hats on, and please call us. We're very approachable. I refer to Otonabee, South Monaghan as the awesome township. And in fact, I'm the fourth generation living here, and I have to put a plug in for agriculture. I'm likely one of the few active farmers, and actually I'm a proud Ontario egg farmer in the province as well. So in saying that, Mayor Taylor and I, we are acclaimed, and I thank you and will continue to represent you responsibly and in an informed manner. And we've had many challenges with COVID, but we have tried to serve our residents well, and hopefully we have fulfilled that. This has been my first term sitting on county council, and I have very much enjoyed that position, sitting on a number of committees as well. So anyway, I don't want to, I'm looking at the button here as time goes down, and want to make space for the official here who is running. So anyway, I will turn it back to the warden, and thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. And very well said. A reminder to those of you watching that you can submit questions. There's a Q&A feature on the Zoom. It's at the bottom of your screen. Click on it if you do have a question. We do have a couple of questions that indeed have been submitted. Now, Ken Howie is one of three running for that one seat, along with Terry Holmes and Dennis Hanna. And Ken, this is not meant to put you on the spot. You're the only one who has taken us up on this particular opportunity. And by no means are we trying to put you on the spot or anything else. So we're all kind of in this together, so we'll get through it. So, Ken, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to introduce yourself, and you can say what you would like to say about your running for council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And, it's an honor to be here. And I'd like to say thank you for putting this together. I know it takes a lot of work and a lot of people's time. And, there's not a lot of that around that we have anymore, like with our busy schedules. So a little about myself. I'm a resident, a local businessman in South Monaghan Ward. I operate a marina located on the Rice Lake. And I've also been a member of the volunteer firefighters for over 10 years, which I recently retired from. You may recognize me around the area with the emergency calls that I do in the smoke alarms and stuff previously. One of the reasons I'm running for re-election is to have a voice for the members of our community. I feel it's important that when our members have problems or issues, that they can come to a counselor with their problems, that we can resolve them. And, where both sides are happy, and we can go on from there. One of the other things is I'd like to create a township that we can develop and create and thrive from our tourism, our agriculture, and business. To raise a larger tax base to maintain the increasing expenses of the operations. So rather than trying to raise up the taxes every year to keep everything going up, it'd be nice to see that we create more lots while we still maintain the agricultural around us, and that will help save some of the tax money. So anyways, I just a few words. That was about myself, and look forward to going forward.
Great. Thank you very much, Ken. I do have we have a huge laundry list of questions, to be really honest with you, but we're not going to get into too many. But I really did think I would address the questions that have been submitted by interested people out there watching, and I think that probably is our priority for tonight, and we'll just see how things work. But again, Ken, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, and no one should think that. So here is a question that we did have submitted. Data from the 2021 Census of Agriculture shows Ontario is losing 319 acres of farmland every day. This is land that will never produce food once it's been paved over. What's your policy on developing agricultural land to help preserve food production for future generations in this county?
Thank you, Warden. And one of the concerns is, like I had mentioned in my remarks, is that we need to keep our farmland, but we also need the development. And some of the ways to do it is to use the lands that aren't being developed by farms. We can put small subdivisions in where it's not farmable land. We can also look at the future of where they're making large greenhouses that can host a lot more products and grow a lot more things, grow rotisserie systems, and they can run them all year round. So, the future does look promising in those lines. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Here's another question. How will you support and advocate for a municipal system that would remove zoning barriers to affordable housing and streamline the development process for nonprofit entities and the building community? It's all about housing. Go ahead.
Yes, housing's one of the big problems that we have everywhere. And I think it's not just in our township. One of the things that I find with our township is we can't put the affordable housing in unless we've got transportation. We need to have transportation for people to get out to the bigger cities, to be able to, go to work, do the shopping, as not everybody can afford a car or, when they're starting out or anything like that. So, transportation is a big thing. And to try and keep the cities where we need to look at, rather than knocking down buildings, maybe we should be looking at, can we use some of these buildings for affordable housing in the communities? And, it might save a lot of money and a lot of time. One of the other things that I've always thought about for the affordable housing, for instance, in Peterborough, is in order to get we have to bring down the price of rentals. And in order to do that, I hate to say that there's a lot of students that are in the city. And don't get me wrong, the students really support our city. But I think what has to happen is if we can get some of the students into some inexpensive dorms by the universities, and colleges, we can open up some rentals in the area of the downtown area. And with opening up the rent, doing that, they'll open up openings. And when you open up openings, the prices will come down. It's only a thought of, what one of the solutions might be. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. What are your infrastructure priorities for the township?
Infrastructure is, we need more of agriculture in infrastructure. As I had mentioned earlier there about these large greenhouses, to build them and to turn around, put our products inside them that can operate year round rather than being only seasonal and subject to the high, the global warming. We have a lot, like I say, a lot of farmland where the infrastructure is, in certain areas. And, as these little areas, they are going to grow as more people want to come. And we have to be very careful that we don't take the farmland away from that.
We're going to have two more questions, Ken.
Okay.
And then we'll let you wrap up some statements here. What role should the township play in the larger picture of Peterborough County and the region as a whole?
We share everything alike amongst us. One hand, we can't. One hand helps the other hand. when it comes to the different counties and the city of Peterborough. You know, with all our sports and everything else going on, people travel from Peterborough down to Otonabee to Cavan to, you know, Hastings, like the whole area. And, you know, we all need to work together in order to create, you know, a good relation.
And the last question. You're doing great.
Okay, thanks.
What involvement and relationships do you plan to pursue with First Nations communities to move our region forward on our path to reconciliation?
We need to honor what has happened. And like I say, all the things that have gone forward, orange shirts, and we all need to, like I say, work together. And a prime example of working together would be the relations that First Nations had with the fire service. It's one of a kind where we're a joint venture, and we need to see more of that in all the other departments. We are working on different things, you know, with our community center in the First Nations. And the trust has to come back so that everybody's happy going forward.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Okay, I'm going to go for a 30-second closing remark from Joe and Bonnie, and then I'm going to give Ken the final word before we say goodbye. Joe, go ahead.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Warden. This is certainly the easiest all candidates debate I've ever had anything to do with. And there were some tough questions there. I guess it really puts Ken on the spot and would have put us on the spot as well to come up with some answers to those. But they're great questions. They deserve a lot of consideration. And just because they've not necessarily got answered to the satisfaction of the questioner at this particular venue, don't think that we'll just ignore them. There's some food for thought there, and that's exactly how we're going to approach it. So I guess that's my closing remarks. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Joe. Bonnie?
Yes, thank you. And certainly we were not on the spot, as Mayor Taylor had said. It is a different position to be in. I have never been acclaimed before and certainly appreciate that position. In saying that, I think that we of a council in OSM have certainly moved forward on a lot of initiatives. We have joined the official plan of the county, which certainly will be a cost saving to anyone developing in our county. We've attained infrastructure monies. We've lobbied for our arena build, also for our infrastructure over at Stewart's Hall, and also a new fire hall. So even during COVID, I do believe that the past council has been successful. However, in saying that, I do want to put it out there that one thing that I feel that I haven't been successful about is being able to attract any young female councillors to run in our municipality. And I don't know how to put that forward, but I will still be striving to attain that. And I think we just need more women to have a voice at the table. So thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Okay, final comments. And again, we remind everyone that all candidates were invited to this meeting, whether they were acclaimed or not acclaimed. And it just happens that Ken is the one who decided to participate. So, Ken, we appreciate it. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to give your wrap-up comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And, you know, like I said before, it's been an honor being here and doing this. And it's also been an honor serving for the last 4 years with OSM Township. And it was my first term running. And we had a lot of decisions to make, and we had a lot of complications come up with COVID and everything else, which, you know, gladly we've seen them all through. And I'm hoping to continue with that in the future going forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ken. And again, we have three 3 candidates running for the one seat in Otonabee South Monaghan. In South Monaghan Ward, Terry Holmes, Ken Howie, and Dennis Hanna. And Ken, we thank you very much for participating. Also to Mayor Taylor and Deputy Mayor Clark, thank you for participating. This is certainly one of the shortest candidate debates that we've had, but I think it was from the heart, and I think we did the best we could. You have a wonderful township in Otonabee South Monaghan, certainly the pride of all of Peterborough County, and we wish you all the luck in the future. So that will end our night. We thank the Peterborough Kawartha Chamber for all the work they've put into these candidate nights, and we will continue. So, good afternoon, good night to everyone, whether you watched live or the recorded version. Thank you all very much. Please stay safe.
Thank you.